Let's move on. Chael, you just told me Chael Sonnen just signed with Bellator today.
Right.
Now, now, let me break this down to you. Like, I am a Chael Sonnen fan. I listen to his podcast every day. Okay, so for me, this came out as just sidetrack me. Like, wait, because yesterday when they were talking about, he had Pat H.D. Berry and Rose Namajunas on his podcast, and they were talking about like okay, when are these people coming back, and there was no hint about Chael coming back, and today he's signed with Bellator. Now this is a big signing from Bellator, because Chael Sonnen is the best trash talker in the whole mixed martial arts. Most probably I would say he's better than Conor McGregor. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, what Conor has done or is doing is taking a page out of Sonnen's playbook. It's if you want to talk about promoters, if you want to talk about fighters who can promote themselves, who are very marketable, Sonnen would be at the very top. The only difference between Conor and Sonnen, Sonnen was at a point where the business was not as big as it is now, as well as the fact that Conor McGregor kind of has those high-profile victories that Chael couldn't manage. He fought against
Anderson,
Anderson Silva
John Jones.
twice, John Jones. He was not able to get that big, decisive victory that would have propelled him into the upper echelons of the sport, which Conor has done. But again, also the fact remains that the business today is way, way different from where it was, say, back in 2012 even, when Sonnen was fighting in the main event scene. So if Sonnen was about 10 years younger, if he was in the UFC now, you would probably see a battle going down between Sonnen and McGregor as to who the more marketable fighter was, or as to who the fighter was who could promote himself better than anyone else. So interestingly, I got this mail early in the morning Indian time from Bellator saying, their official press release saying Sonnen has signed with.
That means
with
evening their time. That means they just signed this up and shut down their business and not responded. And they're going to respond in the morning their time.
Right. So it's interesting. And the other thing is Sonnen and Scott Coker are gonna get in on a conference call tonight, which I will probably join. So it will be interesting to see what Sonnen says, because the way in which UFC even released Sonnen, you have to realize the fact that Sonnen retired from mixed martial arts. He was not released by UFC.
Yeah.
He was still under contract. So it's the same as, what GSP will go through. When GSP wants to come back, he will directly go to UFC because he's still under contract with the UFC. And so is Sonnen. But apparently UFC released him recently. They did not mention why, they did not mention how, or they did not mention when. So it's all a very interesting turn of events, especially consider the fact that Sonnen recently even enrolled under the new USADA regulations, where the fighter is tested
he's been
4
talking
months
about
before.
that. He's been talking about
fighters.
that constantly, and that's exactly what threw us off, because he's been talking about getting back into WADA, getting into the pool, getting back into the UFC, and
Right.
out of this comes Bellator, and they must be paying him a lot. It must be a big payday for Chael Sonnen.
Not just the payday. I think Chael had a leverage probably over UFC, just because it's completely out of the blue that even UFC released him recently. No one knew anything about that, but Bellator signs him out of nowhere, sends an official press release, which completely turns the entire MMA world upside down. Because you have to understand that once Sonnen goes to Bellator, Bellator has a good working relationship with Ryzen. Because Coker and Sakakibara are really good friends and have done business together before. So now you have those dream matches that open up again. Where
Now you have that Wanderlei match, which never happened.